Hey, y'all, it's been a while since I've been on here. While it's been a while since I've been on here, hasn't been a while since I've been in the community. I've been doing a lot in my local community. I've been doing a lot of mentoring most recently, and that's been such a rewarding experience. I really enjoy that whole dynamic, that mentor-mentee type of relationship. And because of that, I have noticed a few things with mentees as they encounter myself and the way I mentor and everything like that. I've noticed several things, and I think it's important that we have this discussion about how to be a better mentee so you can get the most out of your relationship with your mentor. Seemingly, mentees, they come to me, other mentors, and they really think we're some type of messiah. Like we're supposed to have all the answers. We're supposed to just tell them what to do and they'll just go ahead and do it and it'll work out for them. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it goes. That's not even my role as a mentor is to tell you everything what's going on. Let's define what a mentor is because that's the groundwork first. And just to let you know, I got my notes right here. So if I'm looking at this, that's just my notes. I can't remember all this stuff. I don't got to act like I remember all this stuff. Are you perfect? You need notes too. So forget it. All right. A mentor a mentor is an experienced person who provides wisdom, guidance, and support to a less experienced person or mentee over a certain period of time. That's the definition coming from the dictionary. All right. Me as a mentor, I provide wisdom, guidance, and support. I don't tell you the answers and it just works out for you. I'm supporting you. I'm providing wisdom and guidance, meaning you are still doing your own work. You're still going through this process yourself. We don't like buy a car and think the car going to drive itself to get to where we need to go. We still got to get in the car and we still got to drive. Now, probably somebody gonna be like, well, actually, AI. All right, well, go ahead. You let AI take over your interpreting job so it can interpret itself. You ain't gotta worry about mentoring. You probably worry about flipping a burger at McDonald's or something like that. When you're seeking out a mentor, it's important to do a few things so you can get the most experience out of the whole relationship yourself. Now, I'm going to explain what to do before, during, and after the mentorship. So you know how to be a better mentee when you approach these mentors, you can have their best foot forward to get the most gain experience out of this. So let's talk about before. This is before you find a mentor. First, you need to be mentoring yourself. Okay. So that means you need to already be practicing. You need to already have an inventory, a Rolodex, a slew, a plethora. You need to have a whole bunch of interpreting videos already ready to go that you've been giving yourself feedback on. And that feedback has to be documented feedback. The reason that you're doing that is because you need to be able to see what are your interpreter strengths and weaknesses. That's important for you to know before you even find a mentor. So, mentor yourself first. If you have not set your own practice for at least 3 months, at least a 3 month time frame where you have a schedule, you follow that schedule, you've been giving yourself feedback, you're doing all this possible for 3 months. If you haven't done that, there's no reason to go find a mentor. You're not even committed to yourself, let alone committed to somebody you just met. It's not going to work out. That's the very first thing, mentoring yourself. Number two, second thing you need to be able to do before you find a mentor is to be able to articulate your strengths and weaknesses as a mentee. That's important. Myself, I actually write it down on a piece of paper and I may update it every like 3 to 6 months. Every time I'm ready to do another 3 month training for myself, that's when I update my strengths and weaknesses paper. But essentially, what this is just for a way to hold yourself accountable. So on a piece of paper, just have yourself a T chart, all right, just like that, and have strengths, weaknesses, and then underneath list those things for each skill as an interpreter that you know is important to have. So, for example, you have for your expressive interpreting strengths, weaknesses. For your receptive interpreting, strengths, weaknesses. For your voice interpretation, which is different than receptive, but that's a different video. Voice interpretation, strengths, weaknesses. For your critical listening, strengths, weaknesses. For your ethics, for your professionalism, all that stuff that you know impacts the interpreting product, you should have a strengths and weaknesses page for all of that so you can be able to articulate it to this possible mentor that you find for yourself. Again, you have to mentor yourself first before you seek out anybody else. The next thing you need to be able to do is have two sets of goals. Now, this one's a little bit of a trick. Listen up. These two sets of goals, they can be the same goal, but they're presented differently. So one set of goals will be your SMART goals. That's not the word SMART. That's the acronym. It's a framework on how you write goals. It's research. It's proven to work. I won't explain it here, but just look it up. SMART goals. You can read about it. Have your SMART goals, as many of them that you need, as many of them that you want. That's one. Second set of goals are just plain whatever you think. I want to be a better interpreter. I want to get better at signing. I want to improve my voicing. I want to, vague, just kind of one line, whatever comes out your mind naturally. Have both of these sets of goals. Why? We need all kinds of mentors. And we don't want to potentially shy some mentors away because we don't have what works for them to be able to give us the information that we want. So some mentors need that SMART goal approach. They need to know exactly who, what, when, where, how, why. They need to know all the specifics of what you want to be able to support you. Some mentors aren't like that. Some mentors, they don't like all that structure. They're more free flowing, that might even be intimidating to them if you come to them with all that information. So if you come to a mentor and you just say, hey, I just want to get better at my voicing, that's vague, very vague. Let the mentor pitch in at that point. Maybe they'll say, oh, okay, well, if you want to get better at voicing, go ahead and do this. Or, oh, we want to get better at voicing? Sure, we can do that. Or maybe they'll say, all right, but you want to get better at voicing? How? What do you want to do? Be more specific. Now you got your SMART goals. But having that vague kind of just open, it's open for interpretation for the mentor so that they can see what they can offer for you, to you. And it's just a way to kind of capture them instead of always coming with just a bombardment of information. All right? That's a little mind game that I've done for myself. It's been very effective. The next thing and last thing before you find a mentor that you need is to truly believe within yourself that you are open to accepting all feedback. All feedback. Doesn't matter you agree, disagree, understand, don't understand. All feedback you are accepting. That's very important to have as a philosophy, just the open-mindedness that's going to help you in your interpreting experience and your mentorship experience. Now, this is before. Let's move on to during the mentorship. Hey, interpreters, if you're looking just for an opportunity that you can grow your skills, the Beacon community of practice is where it's at. These are 90-minute sessions that really just focus on the skill. These aren't workshops, so you'll get a lot of profession, a lot of lecture. These aren't workshops with their CEUs. It's a specific skill development lab just to hit the skills that we want. We get in, we do our work, and we get out. Okay? So if you're interested, click the link. Okay? These classes could be on any day, anytime, and it's all online. So if you're looking for that, I'll see you there. So I'm assuming you've done all 4 things before. Now you're scoping out, you see some people, maybe you worked with a mentor, or worked with an interpreter that you want to be your mentor, or maybe you've seen them, you found them online. However it is, now you're approaching somebody to try to start a mentorship. Assuming it goes well, that first conversation is still a part of your mentorship, right? So first thing you need to do is to act naive. Act naive to whatever they say. Now, you can do what you want to do. You ain't got to do this. I'm telling you what worked for me, and I'm telling you what works for other people because I've done it and it worked. Act naive to whatever they tell you, even if you already know the piece of advice or information. Just act like it's new, novel information because it makes them feel good. Don't no mentor want to interact with a mentee that they feel like, oh my goodness, they're a know-it-all. I gotta make sure I come with my A game. I gotta do all this. You don't want your mentor thinking about that. You want your mentor thinking that you listen to them 100%. You take in everything that they say. You really value their perspective. That just makes them feel good. The better they feel, the more that they're willing to just talk and pour into you. They're just telling you just stuff. So, for example, if you go to a mentor and you say, I really want to improve my receptive skills, but I just don't know how. The mentor could say the most basic cliche thing. Oh, you want to do that? What you need to do is you need to immerse yourself. Instead of you saying, I mean, well, yeah, but how? Instead of you saying that, even if you say it nicely, why not you just say, huh, I didn't think about that. How do I immerse myself? That I didn't think about that. Now they're just like, oh, okay, I'm telling you something new. It's a little bit of a mind game, making them feel good, giving them the space so they can actually pour more into you. The more you get them to talk, the more you understand their perspective, the more you are able to see and hear something that's actually new and that you can actually take. So you tell them, I didn't think about that. How do I immerse yourself? They could do another cliche thing. Go to deaf events. Deaf events. You know what? I think that's a good idea. So, do you know of any? Just you're making the person think like, oh, this mentee, oh, there's so much I can teach you because you're just making them feel like they are truly valued. Now, afterwards, you can go ahead and just say, yeah, that's not the mentor for me. I mean, he ain't really giving me nothing. You can do that afterwards, but you don't want to burn that bridge. So just act naive. And the more you talk to them, the more you just ask questions, be very inquisitive of where they're coming from, why they say that, and take all of their feedback, the more they'll be willing to just tell you, talk to you, give you different opportunities, put you in different places. They're going to want to be around you because they feel good because every time they talk, you're just like, wow, all right, I guess that makes sense. You do what you want to do. I tell you what works. All right. Next thing, during your mentorship, follow up and follow through. That's just important. Okay. Follow up. Maybe your mentor, you haven't talked to them in about 2 weeks and y'all supposed to meet every week or something like that. Follow up with them. Hey, I'm available this week. I would like to get in a session. When are you available? If they don't respond, follow up again. It's okay. You want the mentorship. You want the experience. You want the growth. You have to reach out. You have to seek out these people. If they continuously don't respond, you naturally will know, all right, I guess it's just nothing. You'll naturally do that. But in the meantime, at least for the first 3 to 5 times, just reach out. Just continue reaching out and never act like you're mad. Never take it personally. Hey, I'm available this time. When are you available? When are you available? That's follow up. Follow through is when they tell you to do something, go ahead and do it. That's your mentor. Listen to them. Do the homework that they assigned you. Send it in early. Send it in on time. Make sure you follow through with whatever they're telling you to do. Again, that's making them feel good. That's making them feel like you're truly listening. You're truly taking in what they're saying. So they are more willing to do more because of how good you make them feel. It's all about doing what you need to do to get what you need. All right? Do that. Okay? Next thing to do in your mentorship is to thank your mentor often. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for inviting me here. Thank you so much for this observation. Thank you so much for this assignment. Thank you so much for us going out to lunch to talk about this. Just thank them. Just thank them. That's nice. That's gracious. That's showing gratitude. That's keeping you humble. That's keeping them feeling good. All of this is in preparation to have a good mentorship relationship and experience. Okay, so that is during. After you're done the mentorship, maybe you guys are supposed to meet for 3 months every week. Now it's done. Or maybe it was never really official. You guys just noticed that you started to just talk a little bit less, and you just want to just put it out there that, hey, I think I'm kind of done. I'll be doing another mentorship or I'll be going somewhere else. After your mentorship, stay in contact with that person. You've done so well up until this point, talking with them, making them feel good. They love giving you opportunities. They love working around you because of how good you make them feel. So after the mentorship, stay in contact with that person every now and then. Doesn't have to be every day. Doesn't even have to be every week. But every so often, just reach out to them. Say, hey, how you doing? Just keep your name in their face. That's the first thing. Second thing you do is when you reach out to them to just say hey and stuff like that, something that they taught you, throw it in every now and then. Give a dog a bone every now and then. So when you reach out to them, be like, hey, just check it in, making sure you're good. You know, that classifier that you had showed me one time in our sessions, I use that today in my interpreting. So just thank you so much. Something simple is that. That mentor is never going to forget you. That mentor is always, every time some new opportunity come up for mentees, for more mentoring, when their schedule opens up, anything like that, you're going to be the first person that they think about just because of such a great experience that you've given them and allow them to give to you. So these are just a few things, the before, during, and after, things you can do to be able to get the best out of your mentorship and how to be a better mentee. Now, y'all tell me other things that's worked for you as a mentee, other things, if you're a mentor, things that you like to see in your mentees, because it's important. We don't really talk about that in the interpreting field. We just talk about learning, but how do I set myself up to learn? Well, there you go. I'll catch y'all next time.